As much as we know about Nikola Tesla and probably the inventor of death ray and mad scientist, we know him as one of the greatest historical figures in all time, and the guy who gave us AC light. And today, let's just go into the life of Nikola Tesla. And for more excitement, let's just do some little animation if I can ever do it. And I do not want animation. Don't do it, editors. I know my scripter wrote this for me. So yeah, let's get started. My name is Sean from Hansen Sean, and let's get started. This video is brought to you by Hansen Sean himself, and now this is on the sponsoring tab, okay? As much as we know about Nikola Tesla, like he was like the inventor of the death ray, pew pew pew, and also a mad scientist with like the wavy Albert Einstein hair. I'm trying to make my hair messy. Yeah. Now let's clean it up. As much as we know, like he invented the death ray, he never knew about his like all of his childhood. And now let me tell you about it. Now Nikola Tesla was actually a young man. His father was a priest, and he wanted his son to be a priest too. But the boy was only interested in science, so science was his main topic. And this is what happened, and this is how Nikola Tesla became into an inventor. Nikola Tesla's mother made some life-saving inventions in her free time. And later, Nikola will credit her for becoming his source idea of inventions. Nikola's mother literally made anything that could work in the household. She literally made a train that will carry out food. She would also carry out some inventions that will give him whatever drink he wanted. And also, literally anything that Nikola would want. And when was Nikola's time when he wanted to study science anyways? Well, it was when one day Nikola Tesla was gambling. Not gambling. That was way after. He was actually petting his cat's fur, and then a bolt of static electricity came onto his hand. It sparked him up and surprised him. Also his cat too. And then from then on, he was devoted his life to studying electricity. Yeah, that's what he had been faming of. Well, later, Nikola Tesla actually went into high school, and later when he became into college, he became a science student. Later, he became addicted to gambling and lost his whole allowance. When his final exams came, Nikola was not prepared. So he asked for more time, but it was refused. So he did not graduate from college, and he dropped out from his studies. Later, he went straight up to his brain, and started making more telephones in the whole wide world. And also he started to become chief electrician of some stuff, and it was a little painful, like this. Ow, stop it. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Later, Nikola Tesla would lose part of his hearing, and then it will come back up because of the soot from his telephone experiment. Like, he had to do this. And later, Nikola Tesla actually, even though he dropped out from studies, will become worldwide famous. Nikola Tesla was actually got into science a lot, and later he would use AC. He would try to make an engine from AC current, but however, he wasn't able to do it. He wasn't been able to do that, so that was a little shame. Nikola Tesla actually just made everything that he could do with anything that you can possibly imagine to do. And before that, I just want to say that Nikola Tesla actually made a lot of stuff before he started working for the Edison company in Europe. Later, his ideas for the AC motor did not go anywhere, so he found himself moving all the way to New York and working for Thomas Edison himself. Later, when Thomas Edison was mentioned by Nikola Tesla of the AC current, Thomas Edison was like, no, I will lose money. And then later Nikola Tesla was like, I quit. And he just went away. And later he had to even work for a ditch digger. He had to work for a ditch digger just to survive. Later he later used AC current to dig soil faster. And then well, this is what happened. This company called Westinghouse, the Westinghouse Light Company, of electricity and light and power, was literally using their own technology on AC power. Later there was this battle called the Battle of the Currents. Which was Thomas Edison on the DC side, pow, and Westinghouse on the AC side, upgrade. And they were like in a boxing match or something. First of all, the DC power of Thomas Edison had the advantage. Upgrade. Like, think of this as a video game. But then later, after Nikola Tesla quitted from Thomas Edison, he degraded a bit. And then later, Nikola Tesla went to work for George Westinghouse, which upgraded George Westinghouse's company more. And later, George Westinghouse had the advantage of over Thomas Edison himself. So it was like, later Thomas Edison wasn't being able to win the war and of Battle of the Current, and later George Westinghouse got to use the alternative current to actually just to win. Later, how he won is that in the Chicago World Fair in the 19th century, he used AC to power up all the lights of the Chicago World Fair. Now, the World's Fair is like the 19th century World's Fair is like a 19th century Disney World. Yeah. And then later, Nikola Tesla wasn't actually finished with inventing yet. Later, Nikola Tesla would invent more stuff, I'm saying. After inventing the AC engine, he decided to make more demonstrations. And I'll show you some diagrams. Okay, Nikola Tesla actually did 4 of these Tesla coil experiments. Now, the 4th one might be a hoax, but let's just talk about it. Now, the Tesla coil was actually meant to use all of the world's technology, that we use today, and you're using it right now to watch this video. Now, the Tesla coil, the first attempt was a big coil that was able to light a light bulb a few feet away. Then in the second one, 100 feet away, the Tesla coil could light 3 light bulbs 100 feet away from it. Later, it was 1,000 feet to 5 light bulbs. That's a lot. And later, this one may be a hoax. People say that the Tesla coil for the 4th one was strong enough to maybe even make Bluetooth appear. And also, that's basically what happened, actually. And that was actually the Tesla coil of Nikola Tesla himself. And now that was basically the most famous of all of Tesla's inventions. It even had his name on his invention, but later it was actually like a little hoax. Later, when Tesla actually just unpaid his bills in his hotel rooms, he moved hotel to hotel. Later, he found a pigeon, which he found as a female who was sick on the bones. And he spent $2 million to fix the bones of that pigeon. And later, he loved that pigeon, and that pigeon loved him. On his birthday, he announced to the press that he made a photographer that would take images of pictures of thoughts. And it was said that he took an image of himself, and do you know what happened? In his head, it was like him and his loved one, the pigeon, was together, and the pigeon had a birthday hat. Yeah, like that. Later, Nikola Tesla died, and also the pigeon did, too. And his ashes are still in the Tesla Museum, which is normally his lab. And also, later, after 2 days after Nikola's death, yes, this might be the surprising of all. The uncle of the current president, the uncle of Donald Trump himself, actually just looked at seized all of his belongings. Really, yes. His last name is Trump. Yes, name is Trump, and seized all of Nicola's belongings and to see if he actually was the real patenter. So yeah, that's basically what happened to all of Nikola Tesla's life. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did. Please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the like button and also hit the bell button to all our notification. And please type stuff in the comments below if you have any questions. If the comments aren't on, please just like type them in my email to 0j1@naver.com just to see more videos at all. And I'll see you next time. Shinhan out.